So, how does Dehkia Sulfur Mine perform in terms of how much money you can get in 1 hour in Black Desert Online? Well, hey, grab yourself a cup of coffee or maybe some tea or maybe even a protein shake, and let's get into this week's Money Per Hour grind series video. If you're curious about other grinding spots, then check out the playlist down below. And remember, there are timestamps down below as well. So just click on what section you're interested in. But in this video, I'll be showing you the location, rotations, mechanics, and then finally looking at the loot slash money potential. Also, my normal disclaimer, this video is geared towards a person who may be checking out the spot for the first time. So your money per hour may be a little less at first and then improve after you get a few hours in. Also, I'm not perfect. So if I happen to leave anything out that you think is important for the spot, then let us know down in the comments. But hey, let's go ahead and jump right on in. So this spot is going to be close to Valencia City. So if I pull the map up, zoom out a little bit, Valencia City is right here. And this spot is much better than the two previous spots that I was at, Dehkia Achman and Dehkia Histria, right? So because you have to navigate through the desert, and I guess you could use a compass, but it's a little bit more difficult. So this is just super easy. You literally just, click here and yeah, if I zoom all the way out, we can see that Heidel is over in this area. And in terms of like the location of the two Dehkia spots here, I'll show you a little bit later of a video, but there's going to be one right here where I'm at, and then there's one over in this area. But like I said, I'll show you that now.
Wizards stay strong, Dehkia never wrong. Games are a song, grinding shine, grind, never fall behind. Power we will find in this sulfur grind. Monsters down below, wizards power show. Dehkia secret glow, watch the magic flow. In the desert sun, grinding won't be done till the battle's won. Stars out one by one. Blinding shine, grind, never fall behind.
Now, once you're here, there are two Dehkia spots, at least that I'm aware of, which I just showed you. And with these Dehkia spots, you don't have to worry about, rotation as the mobs will just spawn right on you once you activate the lantern. Speaking of the lantern, of course, before you can do this spot, you're going to need the Dehkia lantern, which if you don't have it, it's super easy to get. You just have to complete 3 quests that will take you a few minutes. Really easy to do. So if I pull up the quest here and we go to suggested and we go to level, we got to go to combat level 61. Right here it is. So this right here is the quest line that you're going to want to complete. Like I said, super easy to do. Should take you like maybe 5 minutes to complete. And then you'll get the lantern, right? And then you'll also get some fuel as well to be able to put into the lantern once you start using it. So gear, so if I pull up the monster zone info here at this spot, we're going to see that if we look at view total stats, we're going to see that the recommended AP is going to be 920, DP is going to be 440, and then you have a max AP limit of 1000. So, yeah, I mean, you're definitely going to need some gear here. I didn't really have any issues. I did die, I think once or twice. No, maybe it was just once. And I really wasn't paying attention to like the mechanics, which I'll talk about here in a second. But yeah, you're definitely going to need some gear. But I would say it's not as hard as some of the other spots that I've been to, like Dehkia Thornwood or Crypt of Resting Thoughts. Those places just annihilated me. But yeah, let's look at the mechanics here. So mechanics, you're just going to go to the statue, right? Or whatever this thing right here is. And you're going to turn the lantern on and then the mobs will start to spawn in. Now, with this spot, there are 4 different circles that will spawn on the ground randomly. So, just to keep it simple, you will want to try to avoid all the circles except for the blue circle, which gives you a 60-second buff that will kill the mobs faster. Also, if you stand by the area where the water's kind of shooting up, then you get a 10-second 5% attack buff, speed buff. And so you want to try to group the mobs around the water, but be aware though, because if you stand kind of in that area or on the water, it sometimes will shoot you straight up in the air, which you don't take any, damage, but it can affect your grind speed since you're not able obviously to attack the mobs when you're in the air. Uh the yellow and purple circles will damage you at a modest level. And if you have high DP, you may be able just to face tank the damage. And then, the purple circle can potentially knock you down. So just be in super armor if possible, if you are in that circle. Now, the red circle, you want to try to avoid that at all cost. I think it could potentially one shot you if you don't have enough, high enough gear. I didn't want to try to experiment with it. Um, but yeah, I did die once, like I said earlier, when I was in the yellow circle for just too long. And again, I just really wasn't paying too much of attention. So buffs, what buffs should you run to be more efficient at clearing? Can include like a simple cron mill. Then you have the corrupt frenzy drought, tent villa buffs, church buffs, Bell's heart, best and slot artifacts, or if you don't have those, then the general AP monster artifacts should be fine. And you can use, any PVE lightstone combination that you can afford. This is what I'm running because I'm just too lazy to want to pay money to get a better lightstone combination. Also, human damage is important here, so you could stack that as well with your crystals and or lightstones. Also, you could run a full-blown elixir rotation here if you wanted to, which would look like something like this. So let's go over the drops here real quick. I have the Monster Zone info pulled up. And so if we look at the items that drop here, first we have the Manos Craftsman's Clothes, which I didn't even know this dropped until just now. So yeah, apparently this drops here. So super rare item. Yeah, didn't drop for me. You can sell it on the market for 102 million. Next year we have the artifacts, and so a few of these did drop when I was here. But essentially, if you don't need these, then you can just process these down using simple alchemy to get the purified light stones. And then probably one of the big reasons why you're coming here is for the Deboreka earring. So if you get one of these to drop, you're sitting really good for the hour in terms of your money because, this sells for about 800 million. I didn't get any of these when I was here. The Sissel's necklace. So I did get a few of these drops, but you can see right now, at least the current marketplace, it's only selling for about 6 million. Oh yeah, going back to the Deboreka earring. Again, this is a super rare drop. You're probably looking with this thing dropping one every 4 to 6 hours potentially. So yeah, pretty rare. Down below we have the Spectre's energy, and so if this drops, then you can use this to craft your Black Star gear. I usually just sell it to the vendor for 30 million. Next, moving on here, we have the Blackstones. And so you can use this to, enhance your gear, get fail stacks, sell it on the market. We have the sealed black magic crystal. And so if you get one of these, you can just either click it and just get a random black magic crystal, or you can process these down into magical shards, which can be used for other ingredients, or you could sell it on the market, which, whoa, they're selling for 935,000. That's crazy. These always vary, but I've never seen these this low. Usually it sells for maybe like 1.5 million. Sometimes it even goes up to like up past two. But yeah, I guess a lot of people are grinding right now. Uh, Mass of the Pure Magic. This is just an ingredient that can create the flawless magical blackstones, which are required to enhance your Black Star gear. Yoni's fragments. So these are just kind of an addition to like when you're grinding. You can go to a workshop into one of the towns and process or craft accessories. And so just another kind of good way to make some extra money there. So map of the unknown piece. This is probably why you're kind of coming here potentially is the treasure map. And so this place drops two of the four pieces in order to get the map. Uh I'll link a guide from Garmoff down below that kind of just walks you through this process. I don't have any of the treasure items, like I don't have the map or the compass, but yeah, probably another reason why you're coming here is to get that treasure map. Marnie's research box. So if this drops, you just click it and you're gonna get a Marnie stone where you can just kind of fill that up. And then once you get to that certain threshold of however many mobs that you need to kill, you can turn that in to get a pretty spicy and juicy accessory. Caphras stones, you can use these to enhance your gear to Caphra level 10. And once you get to Caphra level 10 and you get a specific flame, then you can turn those in to get one of your in-game gear pieces, right? If you already have your in-game gear pieces, then you can just sell them on the market. Heart for Explorer's Compass. So, this is going to be used. You need three of these, but you can combine those three to use to be able to explore the desert. And you can also like auto path into the desert too, which is really nice. Yeah. Or you can sell on the market for 3.5 million right now. So the soiled Sissel's necklace. So essentially, if you get one of these to drop, you will just click it, and there's a random small percentage chance that the actual Sissel's necklace will drop. If it doesn't, then you'll just get a soiled piece. And then I think once you get like 100 of those, you can just turn that in to get the actual Sissel's necklace. Black Spirit's claw piece. And so this can be used for a couple things. The prime reason you're using this is to get a socket on your armor piece, so you can put another crystal into your set. You can also get three of these, right, to combine to make the actual piece, and then you can use this to enter into like Kratuga, for instance. And you can see they actually sell for a pretty good price, 22 million right now. The traveler's map. So you can see on there, it says it teleports you to the nearest town. Really convenient, really nice item to have, especially if you're in the desert. Uh Ancient spirit dust, right? So this is used to craft your Caphras. So you need 5 of those and one black stone. Craft one Caphra stone. Skull written in ancient language. So you can hoard these up, save them up, and then run these actual, scrolls to get essentially extra money. Because the way you make money with these is getting memory fragments, which then you can sell on the market. It really just kind of depends, though. You have to kind of look at the prices, like how much memory fragments are selling, how much are the scrolls selling, and then kind of go from there. Is it worth to run the scrolls, or is it just better just to sell them, right? So kind of have to just look at the market there a little bit, depending. Sometimes these sell for like 3 or 4 million. Right now they're 2.2 million, so just varies. Uh, Here's the actual trash, right? So selling for 31.5K, which is pretty nice. And then finally we have the trace of nature, which is just an ingredient to craft other items. All right, let's see what I got in 1 hour with just using a level 2 loot scroll with no agris. You can pay 50 million to get the temp buff for a 50% increase on your drop rate. But before we look at my hours, let's look at Garmoth here. The potential average money per hour at 138% drop rate, which is what I'm mostly at if there is no drop rate event going on, and using a yellow loot scroll is around 896 million, with the average trash being around 21.6K. And yeah, just remember, these numbers from Garmoth might not be the most accurate, but it's the only data that we have to kind of compare with. Also, it's important to note that your money per hour is going to vary heavily based on your drop rate. So with all of that in mind, now let's take a look at my few hours here, which I was sitting at 138% drop rate for 2 hours and then 198% drop rate for my last hour. And 2 hours were done with my striker. Then 1 hour was done with my wizard that I'm currently learning how to play. Spoiler, I'm actually having a lot of fun with wizard right now. But my first hour with my striker was 613 million and 16.6K trash. And then my second hour, I got around 602 million. And for the trash loot, I got around 17.6K trash. And then the third and final hour with my wizard, surprisingly, I ended up getting 714 million. And for the trash loot, I got around 18.7K, which I'm definitely, not very efficient with the combo yet. And I'm still level 61. So I definitely think I could, push higher trash numbers. So yeah, I'm kind of hyped for playing wizard right now. So not a bad spot. And guess what? You don't need storage maids like, if you were at Dehkia Ackman or Histria, but, you might be really coming here for the treasure map and or the Deboreka accessory, but I think the money potential can be pretty decent, especially if you're like, pushing over the 20K trash aspect. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good spot to check out. But yeah, if you made it this far into the video, as always, you're awesome, and thank you for the support. Let me know down in the comments, have you tried this spot out yet? And if so, what are your trash numbers looking like? But with that being said, thanks for watching. Here's another video that you can check out, if you're bored. And as always, I hope you have a good upcoming week. But hey, I will see you next time. Peace.
Sunsets on black desert sky. It's just you and I.